Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How you doing, good peapods? What we got to do today? We have the Tory graph once more. Coming to the fore. Oh, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. The Tory graph. This is gobsmacking. I knew it was going on, but it's good to see it in print finally. What are we going to do about Scotland? I think that Britain should invade Scotland. Right, we're coming. What for? We're coming. We're going to take over again because you've screwed it up, right? Is it called devolution when they give powers to like Wales and Scotland? So I think we should go for some evolution and take the powers off them till they stop harming children. My mate was on the Scottish Question Time last night with his little chubby face. You know who you are, you lovely man. He talks like a Scottish person. It's weird because he used to be English. Traitor! Yeah, he was on the Question Times last night. Very good. In Scotland. Very good. Asked a question. Why on earth weren't women included? That's the question we needed. Hey, isn't that right? Lovely. So, Scottish primary schools appoint children as LGBT champions. Do you want me to say it again? Scottish primary schools appoint children as LGBT champions. Holy cow. Pupils can also join gender and sexual orientation alliance groups as part of a scheme run by charity. This is communism, right? I know it's hard for all you lovely leftists. What does he mean it's communism? This is the type of thing that communists or fascists do, right? It's the same thing. They're just two gangs. Was it Ayn Rand who said they're two gangs fighting against each other, right? So what do? We get the kids. You know, when I went over to Egypt and we drove through various places that were a bit dangerous, there'd be 13-year-old kids sat with rifles on their laps at the checkpoints. Right, everybody off the bus. It was all a bit scary. 13, they look like 13, 12 with Kalashnikovs. You think about what happens to kids under Hamas, yeah? So they're born, and then primary school it starts with, we hate this. These people should die. So they're getting them so young that by the time they get 12 or 14, there's no saving them. Because they're just tools of Hamas, which is a cult, yeah? So, like Nazis, same thing. Got it? Right? That's what they're doing. Get them so young that they could reshape the world, which they can do if they get the next generation. And right now they're getting them because we have weak politicians who refuse to deal with the schools. Scottish primary schools are appointing children as LGBT champions and are being urged to ask pupils as young as 4 if they are gay, lesbian or trans. Jesus Christ on a bike! Identify them, name the teachers, fire them. Now! Just call me, I'll come in. You can pop me in a cab. I can be up in a couple of hours. Right, just, get the school ready. Right, who's been pushing this? I have. Right, you're done. Off you go. Who are you going to call? Woke busters. Let's get them out. Documents show that schools are setting up LGBT clubs and gender and sexual orientation alliance groups for people as part of their membership scheme run by the charity LGBT Youth Scotland. The charity, which received nearly 1 million of taxpayers' money last year, also urges head teachers to install gender-neutral lavatories and mark Transgender Day of Remembrance, an event critics say is designed to reinforce myths spread by trans activists. 4-year-olds. 4-year-olds. Are we going to have to storm the Bastille to stop all this? Is that what we're going to have to do? What have we got to do? What have we got to do? We've got to go take over Parliament? Is that what? Are we going to overthrow the government? We're going to do a Guy Fawkes? Are we? Remember, the 5th of November? V with his dominoes? Is that what we're waiting for? It's what I'm waiting for. That moment when it all collapses. It comes after the caste review into NHS gender identity service last week raised fears that found the evidence for allowing children to change gender was built on weak foundation when it doesn't exist. They've urged the government to address it, and they just won't. Right? So Miriam Cates. Hello, Miriam. How you doing? You still haven't followed me, so I can follow you. Right? Coordinator of the new Conservative group of MPs said, we have seen from the caste review the appalling results of using children as pawns in adult political battles. Indoctrinating small children with sexualised ideologies is deeply unethical and breaks all established safeguarding principles. You're damn right. We know, right? Because schools did this for years, right? 4, leave them alone. You don't go up to a 4-year-old and say, are you straight? You wouldn't do it. Right? Do you fancy her or do you fancy him? Or if you're a queer teacher, we've got a nice cat if you're game, right? We don't do that for obvious reasons. They're 4. Okay? Your average 4-year-old. I don't know what they like. I said the other day to somebody, I met some child somewhere for the first time in about 20. I've never seen a child. I don't know what they're like. So I was down with my mate whose granddaughter came over. Wouldn't leave me alone. They're funny things, aren't they? They're like cats. If you don't like them, they'll sit on your lap. What are you doing? Get it off. So, this is just quoting the same stuff that you and I know by rote. But it's worth mentioning what they're up to because it seems that Scotland is going to go down with the ship. I mean, they're on the Titanic and it's sinking already. And then Jacob Rees-Mogg pipes up. I do not understand why the organisation wants to brainwash children with peculiar ideas. Rees, I quite like Jacob Rees-Mogg. He should have a top hat and a monocle, but I quite like him, all right? He seems like a decent enough chap. But if he doesn't understand it, he doesn't get it. Understand that this is the Revolutionary Guard. Understand that this is Mao's China. Understand that this is Hitler Youth. Understand that this is like every other victimhood movement and cult that we've seen in the 20th century. They want to get the children so they can reset history and bring on their utopia. This is utopianism writ large because this is what they do. This is what they do. Now, there's work going on around schools. I know we saw a great article in the Telegraph the other day about some schools in Scotland, in Cornwall and Devon. We're going to expose these buggers. We're going to find out what they're doing, right? And we're going to find out who's doing it. And then we can take aim at the high priests that are at the top, at the education department, or, for example, in these educate groups, like the Proud Trust and people like that, these high priests who've been given power through government money. And then we're going to take you out. And then if the acolytes and the adherents underneath you won't behave, we're going to take them out too. Because I have to get rid of my rage. And if you look at what other people are writing, like Dennis and Mr. Menno, and, there's rage there, and we're going to get rid of it. You know how we're going to get rid of it? We're going to come for you. That's what we're going to do. Because you have damaged another generation of gay people. As if we haven't had enough. As if we haven't had enough, Obviously, it's never enough for you, is it? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Right? We're going to get them out. Get them out. And if they're in your communities, challenge them. Challenge them. You've got CAS now. You've got the bodies of 9,000 young gay and lesbian people, or autistic people, or ADHD, or looked after kids. You've got the bodies of 9,000 now. Yes, but these people are satisfied with what they've done. We don't know. You haven't spoken to them. Well, when we speak to them and find out they're satisfied with what they've done, doesn't mean we're going to do it again. Because I don't care if 9,000 of them are satisfied with what they've done. You don't sacrifice the one. You don't sacrifice the one. And that's why trans medicine, in all its glory, trans medicine, and the gender dysphoria, and all the lying crap that comes with it must go. And it must all end, if necessary, by lawful edict. And to be an English citizen, to be a British citizen, and to participate in that, wherever you are in the world, should be a criminal offence. Then we can sit and have, tea and scones. Go well. Beepity beep. Warrior teacher. Buy me a coffee. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.